Shabbat Shalom.
It may be Christmas to the non-Jewish, to the Christian world right now, but look at this. It's Shabbos for all of us. And it's a lot of us. I'm so happy to see all of you. Hello, Kiesels, side
Hi,
by
Shabbat
side.
Shalom.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Hello, Stan and Bunny, side by side. Hello, Levinsons. Got a group of you. Hello, Wyatt, here with family, just on different screens. Hello, Bruce and Robin, side by side. Actually, we have two screens of Levinson side by side. How do you beat this? This is outstanding. I see Peachy, Shabbat Shalom. I see the Kaplanskis side by side.
Gallery view.
We have whatever number of screens. You got to multiply this by a factor of 2 or 3 to count up how many people are actually here. I see Maya and Steven side by side, and Via and Alex side by side. I see Adrian and Paula side by side just on screens. And that's working, because I bet they'd be really happy to be sitting side by side right about now. That would make them really happy. Make me, and Nancy Levinson's sitting right next to them. So that would make, I know, all of them really happy. And Lois Lippman right next to them. How do you beat it? Hello to the Mitchells and to the Schulmans. Shabbat Shalom. It's great to see all three of you on screen. The Marenbergs, Shabbat Shalom. And the Wiles. And I see Shifra Bernie Noble, who's looking pretty great, I got to say. Looking ready for a world-class Shabbos. That's what it looks like to me. I see the Seagulls here as well. And the Chermacks are joining us. Jackie Burney is here with us across the miles. How do you beat that? Pretty great. Netta is here showing us that delicious dog with the kippah on. That's how we know Netta's in the house. Terry and Michael, Shabbat Shalom to you. It's great to see you both. And Lauren Abrams, great to see you as well. Oh, Isla is here with Mort. Shabbat Shalom. And the Lopez de Hulse gang is in the house, waving from a distance. It's nice to see you. Gail is here. Amy Farber and family are here. Oh, goodness. So many. David Belson, Shabbat Shalom. I can't get to everybody. I'm trying, but there's a lot of you. That's a good thing. You know what? It's Christmas time for the Christians, but it is Shabbat for all of us. And we are ready just to celebrate the gift of being with one another on this Shabbat evening. And so, please join with me. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. That's our way of saying, the way the psalmist did way back when, how great it is just for us to have the gift of being with one another. Please join with me. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Try that again with me. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Repeat after me. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Repeats. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Rabbi Bernie is dancing. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. You know, there are so many good reasons for us to be gathering live like this. I know a lot of synagogues are doing beautiful prepared services in advance and then kind of airing them for everybody to enjoy. That's a beautiful thing to do too. But there are so many great reasons for us to be joined together live and in person. One of them is I would never have the chance to embarrass Rabbi Bernie like that if it were prefabricated in any way. That's live humiliation brought to you by Leo Beck Temple. And I just want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, especially you, Rabbi B.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Merry Christmas. Rabbi Jason, we were so inspired by your music that Shifra had to run and go get her guitar because she wanted to play with you. So thank you so much for bringing in our Shabbat music.
I'm watching the year end with a diminishment of my job security as Shifra Bernie Noble takes up the guitar and threatens the rabbinic future. It's all good. It's all good. You know what? I believe in duets, Shifra. It's all good.
Well, we are going to bring in the Shabbat light. And so we want to invite you to get your candlesticks, to get your candles ready so that we can all spread the light of this Shabbat together. Are you ready, Shifi?
Yeah.
First, we're going to light our Shabbat candles. Okay. When we circle 3 times, can you help me? We do 1, 2, 3, and then we cover our eyes. We say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat. Oh no, Rabbi Jason, you're muted. Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat.
Amen. Lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat. Oh, is he? Now, hold on a moment here. I want to make it easy for you to join with us. This will just take one moment. I want to give you the link to our Shabbat Evening Prayer Book. This will make your life a little easier for you, those of you who wish to be able to pray along with us. If you go to this link, which I am putting right now into the chat, like so, boom, there it is. So if you click on that link, that will bring you to a screen where you can select from the online prayer books that we have prepared for you. Just select the Friday night prayer book from Mishkan Tefillah, our Shabbat evening prayer book, and you'll be able to follow along with us. Have the words in front of you so that you can join in singing with us if the words are unfamiliar. A lot of you are, you're experts at this point. You've got the thing down. But if you want to have that prayer book in front of you, especially for readings and special passages that are maybe unfamiliar, it would be great to have that close by. On the 3rd page of the online prayer book is our prayer of gratitude for the gift of love in our lives. For those of you who are with loved ones on screen, how fortunate you are to be able to be together with some of the people who you love the most. But all of us, even if you do have a loved one close by, there are other loved ones perhaps far away, or at least in some other place here in this city, or even further, or perhaps living on in memory, who we wish to draw close at these moments where we are bestowing blessing from beloveds to beloveds. And so with that in mind, we're going to join together on the 3rd page of the online prayer book in our parents' prayer, our Birkat HaMishpacha. Please join with me. Here with you beside me, I feel so greatly blessed. This moment means much more than I can say. A time to be together, a time for us to rest. Shabbat is here, the time has come to celebrate the day. So I hold you close, my hands upon your head. And from me to you, my child, these words are said. Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim Kasara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. As I watch you growing, I smile through my tears. Sometimes I wish you'd stay forever small. Then I see you blossom, and I befriend the passing years. I love you now, I love you then. I love to see it all. So I lift my voice to offer you this prayer. For every step along the road, Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim Kasara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. May God make you like our parents, like our blessed ones. Sure love seeing some of you who I've watched sharing that blessing for a very long time. You know, I was kind of watching Hannah Weil turn that blessing around on mom and dad right there. I remember Hannah being, I don't know what, 6, 7 years old, getting that blessing from mom and dad when she had no hope of reaching mom and dad's heads. Now, not such a difficult task. That's the way it goes. Yes, much love, Hannah. We're going to join together in the Shabbat Evening Kiddush. Gratitude for the gift of the sweetness of this Sabbath day that we're all sharing with one another. You can find the words on the next page in the online prayer book. I invite you, it's page 5. I invite you to stand if you are able at this time so we can join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshar b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho me'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
L'chaim. And now the moment we have all been waiting for, we are going to say the blessing over the challah. You want to hold up your challah, Shifi? Yeah. Okay, you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. V'tei avon, Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to be with all of you. In a moment, our amazing rabbinic intern. In a moment, our amazing rabbinic intern, Michael Lewis. Hold on one second, Judy. Michael's right here. He's waving at you. He is going to put the prayer book link again into the chat so that you can follow along as we move into our Shabbat service.
There you go. If you click on that link right there, that will bring you to the page that has all the different links for the Shabbat services. The Friday night prayer book, of course, is the one that you'll want. And if you'll turn to the very next page in the online prayer book, the 5th page, which is right after the Kiddush, you'll find these words that I thought it would be sweet for us to sing with one another tonight. Why especially tonight? Because the spirit of Christmas is actually something that I grew up being quite fond of. I grew up, as many of you know, in the middle of the country. And I grew up in a Kansas suburb of Kansas City. And so I was living in eastern Kansas ever since I was about 8 years old. Chicago suburbs for the first half of my childhood, and the Kansas City suburbs for the back half. So that means that we were surrounded, for the most part, with large numbers of Christians. Of course, you get this anywhere you live, but even more so in the smaller cities in America. And so Christmas was just omnipresent when I was growing up, but I don't remember feeling like that was oppressive in any way. We, of course, weren't celebrating Christmas in my home, but we certainly were all over Kansas City. And there was just an extraordinary spirit of kind of a communitarian spirit at that time of year. People were just a little more gracious, a little more grateful, a little kinder to one another, a little more forgiving when they cut each other off on the road or when they were causing one another to be late for something. There was just a little softer edge. And I remember that sweetness being something that I cherished about the Christmas season, even if I was not a Christmas observer. In our Jewish tradition, we say that Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Bazeh, that we're all responsible for one another, and that we embrace that sense of responsibility. It's something that has been, as we know, far too lacking in our country these days. The feeling that we are actually grateful and ready to be responsible for one another as opposed to simply looking out for ourselves. That is an ethic taught to us from the earliest rabbis in our rabbinic tradition, and which should be finding even deeper roots in this season of the year, where people's hearts are supposed to be filled with a little bit more love, a little more generosity toward one another. And so on the 5th page of the online prayer book, let us join together in singing it the way we Jews do. Gratitude for our sense of responsibility, taking care of one another, preserving life with and for one another during this time of pandemic, being grateful for the gift of each other and the idea of being a part of something larger than ourselves. When you stumble, I fall. We're not that separate at all. In your danger, I fear. So far apart and yet so near. When I'm searching for what's right, you're there to point me toward the light, and you show me the way by what you do and what you say. Israel Arevim Zeh Bazeh, Kol Israel Arevim, we We are all connected. I look in your eyes and I see you're my responsibility. Let our hope never cease. We live to see the day of peace. Kol Yisrael Arevim Zed Bazed. Kol Yisrael Arevim. We are all connected. One spirit, one heart, we'll never be apart. Kol Yisrael Arevim Ze Bazeh. Kol Yisrael Arevim. We are all connected. Kol Yisrael Arevim Ze Bazeh. Kol Yisrael Arevim. We are all connected. Yes, we are all connected. Our gift of life right now depends upon our gratitude for, our awareness of the responsibility that comes with connection to all of humankind. And at this season of the year where the religious tradition of our Christian neighbors is designed to tease that out of them and out of us, let our tradition also awaken us to our sense of mutual responsibility. Tonight, those of you who have followed our custom link to this service, if you're joining us on Facebook or on our website or on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, the service may look largely the same as it does in all the other weeks, but if you followed the custom link, you're joining us on a Zoom link this week, and this week and next. A little special thing, just because our beloved Drewski, Drew Davis, who has been the governor of all things live stream, is taking some much-deserved vacation time. And so we're just gathering with one another on Zoom. It enables you, if you wish, every now and then to switch over to the gallery view. But our amazing rabbinic intern, Michael Lewis, is with us tonight to make sure that you also have the opportunity, if you are on the speaker view, you'll be moved around with the spotlight to whoever is leading the service. That'll include Rabbi Bernie and me, and also Michael, who will be heard from a little bit later in tonight's service. Shabbat Shalom to all of you.
We are going to continue with words of gratitude. Lechu Neranana. It is Psalm 95, and it can be found on the lower left-hand corner of the supplement, which is the 6th page in your online prayer book. It sounds more complicated than it is. Needless to say, please join with us in this prayer of joy and gratitude.
You want to try this or not?
Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Haria. Ya la 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 Litzur Ishenu. Ya la 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 la. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation, from mountain to sea, hear our song. Lechu Neranena, ya la 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 la. Naharia Ya la 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 Tzur Yishenu Ya la 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 For all of the wonder and all of God's light we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechu niranena, niranena, ya la 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 la, la Adonai, ya la 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 la, Naharia, ya la 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 la. Tzur Yishenu, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. We are ready to greet the Sabbath bride, to welcome beauty, to welcome possibility, to welcome new hope, to welcome love restored into our hearts, into this moment that we call the Sabbath day. The words in the online prayer book can be found on pages 20 and 21. We're going to be singing the first and second verse. So those are the top two verses on page 20. And then we'll also be singing the top and bottom verses on page 21. As Rabbi Bernie just said before, that again sounds much more difficult than it actually is. I can assure you, not so complicated. Page 20, 21, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Let us welcome the Sabbath bride together. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. I see you clapping along. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Shamur v'zachor b'diburecha, Shmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, Shehu tiferet v'litila lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Top of 21. Hitoreri, hitoreri, va'orech umi ori, uri uri shidaberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, ene Shabbat, lekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala ene Shabbat nekabela. If you are able, I invite you to stand as we prepare to sing the bottom verse on page 21. And as you stand, please face the entrance to the room in which you are praying tonight. Because in that entrance, open your mind's eye and see her, Sabbath the bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha ובצולה תוך אמוני המסגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה עיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה עיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה עיני שבת נקבלה לך דודי kala ene Shabbat nekabela. We are ready to greet the core section of our service with Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Words can be found in the prayer book on page 28.
Words to help prepare us for Shema. These are from our Mishkan HaNefesh prayer book. You are the one who unites all things, who links life to life in a sacred chain. The forests anchored in the soil breathe air into our lungs. Our faces are reflected in the creatures of earth. We carry the sea within us. Our fate is connected to rivers and deserts, our family a many-branched tree of life. All beings intertwine you, all are encompassed in Adonai Echad. Thus, no person is an island, no soul exists apart. To say Echad is to know this truth, to see the whole world, humankind, undivided. Precious and holy are these words we speak. Adonai Echad, we proclaim you one.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. On page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Abraham Joshua Heschel once said that there are three ways to mourn. The first is to cry, the second is to grow silent, and the third is to transform sorrow into song. And we know that so many families across the world, across America, across Los Angeles, across our own Leobeck community are suffering from this pandemic that afflicts all of us during a normally festive season. And yet the presence of Shabbat calls upon us to still find some semblance of gratitude, to find our song in the miracles that we enjoy, for the miracle of technology, for our ability to still gather and to see each other and be together, for the miracle of this amazing community who continues to show up for one another in ways that are so inspiring and so beautiful, for the miracle of hope that is instilled in us by watching healthcare workers get vaccinated this week, and for the miracle of our humanity that reminds us that we don't have to be alone in our suffering. And so we transform our sorrow into song with these words, Mi chamocha, on page 40. Please join us.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאללה la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la ya la la אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Our tradition sneaks in an extra blessing in the evenings, the Hashkivenu. We add this extra prayer, which we don't normally say in the morning or in the afternoon, because of the uncertainty of the nighttime. You know, in our modern world, when there are lights on and heating and air conditioning systems keeping us away from the elements, it's hard for us to appreciate how terrifying the night could be in the ancient world, or even not that many years ago. So as we think about that, our tradition wants us to add this extra blessing, this extra shelter of peace that it seeks for all of us. We can take that and thinking about our own times of darkness, our own times of uncertainty, our own times of fear of the unknown or what's out there. Call and ask for God for an extra shelter of peace for all of us. As we turn to the words of the Hashkivenu, which can be found on the next page down on the supplemental guide.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 The Amidah, our standing prayer, begins on page 46 in the prayer book. I invite you to stand if you are able. Adonai Svatai Tivtach Adonai Svatai Tivtach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Ufi Agi Adonai Svatai Tivtach Adonai Svatai Tivtach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. The Amidah continues in silence through page 62. Please feel free to lean into the words that are in the prayer book or into the words that reside deep within you. As we spend this time in quiet prayer and reflection, you can remain standing or be seated whenever you're ready. words are on page 62. They mean, may the one who hears our prayers receive them in love, be our rock, be our redeemer. Liratzon imreifi vegion libi lifanecha Adonai. Lifanecha Adonai. Suri Vigoali. Suri Vigoali.
We now take time as a community to think of those who are in need of our healing prayer, our family, our friends, maybe even ourselves who are in need of healing of the body, healing of the mind, and healing of the spirit. And as this pandemic continues to surge, and we have so many affected in our own inner circles and around the world, we are frankly just desperate for some sense of healing. And so as we offer this Misha Berach prayer, we pray that something bigger than ourselves will bring some sense of hope, some sense of that healing. And we also pray that all of us will continue to do the work to, as Rabbi Chasen taught earlier, be responsible for one another, to continue to care and love one another so that we can also help to bring some healing into this world. And so we pause at this time, and I want to invite anyone who has a name that they want to share to call that name out loud.
Carmen Valencia.
Abby Ortenberg.
We join together on page 253 in the middle of the page in words of Misha Berach, words of healing.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Aleinu can be found at the bottom of page 282. If you're able, I invite you to stand at this time. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד. A musical meditation to help prepare us for Kaddish. The words can be found at the bottom of page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, we remember. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer this evening, we remember especially Joyce Halper, mother of Jill Halper, Tracy Klass, and Rachel Fishbein, mother-in-law of Larry Bronner and David Klass, grandmother of Allie and Sarah, Jessica and Haley, Adam and Abby, and great-grandmother of Bryce, whom death has taken from us in recent days. We mark as well tonight the 6th yahrzeit of our congregation's beloved founding rabbi, Leonard I. Behrman. We link their names with Jerome Adler, Francis Schwartz Blumenthal, Carol Brown, Rose Cooper, Seymour Feshbach, Kenny Friedman, Gerald Y. Goldberg, Fred Halpern, Babs Hamburg, Alex B. Hamburg, Margaret Fetchheimer Hyman, Mark Kaufman, Dolores Barrett Klein, Chet Lappin, John Alfred Lesser, Leslie Levin, Beatrice C. Levy, Monty Livingston, Barbara Lurie, Lynn Miller, Marion Adams Moffett, Boris Bud Ratner, Floricel Ngala Renardo, Eleanor Rosen, Bert Rosenberg, David Rosenthal, Esther Stack, Alfred Wittert, Warner Wolfen. Are there other names we should include? If so, please speak them aloud at this time.
Bill Emerson,
We think as well, of course, of all those who we name in our hearts, and also those who have perished as victims of COVID-19 here in our country and all throughout the world, a terrible mounting number. We must not become overwhelmed by the numbers such that we lose the touch of each and every one, each of them, to live on in memory. We think also, of course, of those who have perished as victims of violence all over our world. And we recommit ourselves to becoming healers, to ending violence wherever we can. Together we say, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, memory of the righteous is an everlasting blessing. As together we give thanks for the blessing of life. The words of Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 294. If you're able, please rise at this time. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'amad divrach rotei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May the giver of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved among us, and let us together say, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru, Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru, amen.
Well, this is a community who knows how to do Shabbat. And I am just so inspired and grateful for the spirit and the joy and just the sincere care of all of you. And I just want to wish you a Shabbat of peace, a Shabbat of healing, and a Shabbat of being together, however we can, with one another.
Our rabbinic intern, Michael, said it right as he was preparing us to enter into the words of Hashkivenu tonight when he talked about the darkness that can overwhelm. I think a lot of us have been feeling that darkness, and of course, this is the Shabbat that is physically the darkest. The solstice was just a couple of days ago, I think on Monday. And so we are at the very bottom of the light, but walking day after day, night after night, week after week, back toward more and more light. That is my wish, I hope, my prayer for all of you, to discover that light, to become bearers of that light, sharers of that light. This is a time as we enter into a new year very soon. When we next gather for Shabbat, it will be the first Shabbat of 2021. And oh my, yeah, Rabbi Bernie, yes, we will need to imbue this new year with all kinds of light. That will not only come from vaccines, that will come from the way in which we comport, the way in which we reach out soul to soul in ensuring that the human family can once again grow into light. That is a hope and a prayer that can accompany us through this last week of the year 2020 and into a new year that we must all join together in filling with blessing. I want to wish each one of you a Shabbat Shalom u'Menucha, a restful, restorative, renewing Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, y'all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom from the chair, Max.
Shabbat shalom from Gary Stern.
Shabbat shalom from the